Are you tired of low interest rates from the banks that you have been currently using? If you're with one of the big 5 banks in Canada, it's not a big surprise. For example, at an RBC savings account, you can currently get only 0.05% per year if you put your money into it. This is next to nothing. In this video, I'm gonna do a review of EQ Bank and show you how you can get a rate that is 30 times higher than RBC's savings account. Hey, what's going on? It's Chris here from Wealth Awesome. EQ Bank is a welcome change for anybody looking to get reasonably exciting interest rates. There is an increasing trend of adopting digital banks among Canadians, and EQ Bank offers a high interest savings account and one of the highest savings interest rates in the market right now. Considering how low savings account interest rates have been since the market crash in 2008, EQ Bank presents itself as a possible sigh of relief. Modern digital banking solutions are becoming popular for a reason. I'm going to give you a more in-depth look into EQ Bank so you can check it out to see if it meets your savings account needs. Stick it around until after I finish this review and I'll tell you how I use my EQ Bank savings account along with my investments to manage my finances. Alright, let's start with what is EQ Bank. EQ Bank is a trademark of Equitable Bank, and Equitable Bank is the 9th largest Schedule I bank in Canada. It introduced EQ Bank as its digital banking subsidiary 4 years ago. And as of today, EQ Bank boasts of more than 60,000 customers and over $2 billion in deposits. EQ Bank offers 3 primary accounts that customers can leverage and earn higher interest rates on their cash deposits and savings accounts. The first one is the EQ Bank Savings Plus account. The next is the EQ Bank TFSA and also the RSP savings account. And the last one is EQ Bank Guaranteed Investment Certificate or GIC account. Let's take a look at these 3 bank account types that EQ Bank offers. The first one is the EQ Bank Savings Plus account, and this is their bread and butter. It's their high interest savings account, and currently the EQ Bank everyday interest rate is at 1.5%. It also makes EQ Bank's rate count as one of the highest among the online-only banking solutions right now. This account has plenty of features that I really like, including free electronic funds transfers, free mobile check deposits, 10 free linked accounts, free Interact e-transfers, and free transactions. It also has mobile banking app, available customer service, low rates on international transfers. There's also a 0 minimum balance required, 0 everyday banking fees, and my favorite feature of all, it has a high interest rate. And what I really like about this account is how versatile it is. The one thing it doesn't offer though is a checking account, but you can use your savings account at the bank similar to how a checking account operates. This includes the ability to transfer money between accounts at different banks, setting up recurring transfers and bill payments, and you can also deposit checks and also pay your bills. Next up, we'll go with the EQ Bank TFSA and RSP. Right now, they have an interest rate of 2.3% interest for these, which is a really new account and it's an amazingly high rate. So that is basically it in a nutshell for this account. It also has the similar features as the other ones I mentioned. The next account that I'll go over is the EQ Bank GIC account. So this is the GIC account and operates similar to the savings account. You can get fixed percentage interest rates paid to you on scheduled dates. The primary difference being that the GIC and the savings account is that you can't withdraw your funds from the account until it reaches maturity. GICs generally provide you a good way to work towards your short-term savings goals, but I personally don't really like them because you only earn a little bit more with GICs, but you lose that flexibility in case you need that money. But it is very low risk and pretty much guaranteed returns. Some of the advantages you can leverage through this GIC is also the same as I mentioned before. There's 0 fee banking, very high interest rates, also has a mobile banking app, and many of the other features I've already mentioned. EQ Bank versus Tangerine and other online banks. The trend for Canadians opting to use digital banks is that they look for higher returns on their savings. Another reason could be that they're just tired because they have to continually deal with increasing checking account fees with the banks that they're currently with. EQ Bank isn't the only digital banking option that offers you a high interest savings account. Another competitor of it is, and one of its most well known is Tangerine. But the Tangerine high interest savings account is extremely low after you get past the promo rate at 0.1%. Some other banks that you might have heard of are Modus Bank, which currently is only offering 1%, and Wealthsimple, which is 0.75%. So EQ Bank has high rates. You might want to use Tangerine or something like that for a checking account. That could be a good way to balance between both of these accounts. It's very easy to link both of them up as well. So the process for opening an account is super easy. If you are over the age of 18 and you are a Canadian resident that's not in Quebec, all it takes is going to the EQ Bank website and clicking on the option to join. And the setup time is very quick. I set mine up in less than 5 minutes. It's super safe and it's really secure as well. So if you want to go directly to the login page and sign up, I put a link in the description below and you could follow that. The next question people have is if EQ Bank is safe and legit. In the digital age, banking seems potentially risky, especially when you hear about cases of fraud, identity theft, and hacking. A crucial aspect you need to consider about is whether that bank is safe or not. EQ Bank is brought to you, as I mentioned, by Equitable Bank, and Equitable Bank is a member of CDIC, and your funds are eligible for deposit insurance. Another question, is there an EQ Bank TFSA or RSP? As I mentioned before, yes, finally they did start offering back in 2020. So if that's something you want to do, then check it out. So is EQ Bank right for you? There are several points about EQ Bank that you have to go over. Some qualities might be good for you and some might not be. So you should consider going with EQ Bank if you want high interest rates on a savings account. You want to park your money for a short time for excellent interest rates, and you're just simply tired of traditional low interest savings account rates. And you also don't want to pay any more banking fees. So who this app is not for though, it's not that suitable for someone who is non-resident living in Canada and people that live in Quebec, unfortunately. And if you're looking for more of a long-term savings goal, it might not be suitable either. So my review, I really love this bank. I personally use it. I give it a score of 4.8 out of 5. And the pros, I'll just run through them really quickly again. It's free and easy sign up. It has one of the best interest rates in Canada, flexible maturity terms for its GICs, and no everyday banking fees. And also there's no minimum balance. Some of the cons or the downsides of it are it has no physical branches, so if you need face-to-face interaction, it's not going to have that for you. And there's also no cards, so you don't get like a physical debit card or a checkbook. It's all done online. I'll go over what my strategy is for how I use high interest savings accounts with my investments. So high interest savings account is first of all where I park my emergency funds. So I have a couple months of salary or living expenses inside my EQ Bank account. And also if I have a purchase that I know I need to make it within the next 2 years, which is what I consider a short-term time frame, then I'll put the money inside EQ Bank because then it will be ready for me and it'll have earned interest by the time that I need to eventually make the purchase. So for example, I am self-employed, so I have a lot of taxes that I need to pay every year, but I could wait until the next tax filing date to do that. So I have a lot of cash sitting around, but I need that money when tax time comes. So I'll put my money inside EQ Bank, it'll earn 1.5% interest, and then once tax season comes around, I'll withdraw it from EQ Bank and then pay it out. I try to shy away from recommending using it as a TFSA because I truly feel that TFSAs should be meant for investing mostly. That's where you'll get the most benefit out of it. But if you're not maxing out your TFSA with investments, then yeah, EQ Bank TFSA is great to hold some of your savings as well. I like to invest in stocks and ETFs mostly for my long-term investments. So I don't see this as an investment. It's more like being able to preserve my capital, protect against inflation. It's just a great service and interest rate that's available to Canadians now. And it's a much, much better option than a big bank. So that's my personal thoughts on it. It certainly offers you a big advantage over other digital banks even and traditional big five banks for its high interest rates. And it also offers you a chance to save on things like international fund transfers. The rates are much cheaper than at a traditional bank. You can use it for unlimited transactions. There's no minimum balance and no banking fees. So it's just all the features I mentioned. Definitely get a big thumbs up for this product. All right, so make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be putting out content every single week. And also make sure to check out the Wealth Awesome blog. It's one of the leading personal finance blogs for Canadians, and it goes into banking, investing, and saving details in much finer points and expanded details. So if you're interested, check it out. And as always, thanks for listening.